Uh, Again, I welcome you to continuation of first principle. Here we're dealing with sec s. Y is equals to sec s. From sec s is equals to 1 all over what? Cos s. So from this, I can say y is equals to 1 over cos s. So from there, I'll make this one my equation what? 1. Then the next step is you add change y to y, change in y plus y equals to 1 all over cos s plus what? Change in s, which one will be my what? Equation 2. Then you subtract equation 2 from equation 1. So change in y plus y minus y is equals to 1 all over cos s plus change in s minus 1 all over cos s. So you see y we cancel out y. Then we'll be left with change in y to be equals to 1 all over cos s plus change in s minus 1 all over cos s. Then the next thing is to find the LCM of this and this. So you know that change in y will be equals to the LCM of this and this. The LCM of cos into s plus change in s and cos s is nothing but what? Cos s into cos s plus change in s. So now this will goes in this, then we left with cos s. Cos s times 1 is cos s minus this, we cancel this, then we left with this. This times 1 is still what? Cos s plus change in s. Okay, now so this we have to break this down. You know, from cos a plus b, minus cos a minus b. I already proved all this on my YouTube channel. That's how I always advise you to go back on integration and on differential on trigonometry. So this is how you break it down. It's going to give us if you expand cos a plus b is nothing but what? Cos a cos b minus sin a sin b. So minus into, if you expand this, it's going to give us cos a cos b plus sin a sin b. So if you expand this, I'm going to have cos a cos b minus sin a sin b minus cos a cos b minus sin a sin b. So if you continue with this, you will observe that this will cancel out this. Then we'll be left with this minus sin a sin b minus sin a sin b is nothing but minus 2 sin a sin b. So it means cos a plus b minus cos a minus b is equals to minus 2 sin a sin b. But here we will say let a plus b equals to what? S. So cos s minus, and this one should be equals to what? Y. So here, if you go back to my previous video, you will see that we, for using simultaneous equation, if you say let s equals to a plus b and y equals to a minus b, if you solve this simultaneously, find a, find b, you will get that minus 2 sine. Your a is going to be what? S plus y over 2, and your b is going to be what? S minus y over 2. You can try that, or you can watch my previous video of this. You will see everything I do it there. Okay, now so from here now, this one will be my s, and everything here will be my what? My y. So it means that cos s minus cos s plus change in s will be equals to minus 2 sine. What is my s here is still s plus my y. This one will be my y. S plus change in s plus change in s all over 2. S plus change in s all over 2 sine s minus s minus s plus change in s all over 2. So if it is like that, it means this one will be minus 2 sine s plus s is 2s. To be 2s plus change in s all over 2 sine. This one is going to be s minus change in s all over 2. This will cancel out this. Then will be equals to minus 2 sine 2s plus change in s all over 2 sine minus change in s all over 2. So we come back here. We are going to substitute this here. You get that? So I took my time to explain this. Change in y will be equals to minus 2 sine 2s plus change in s all over 2 sine minus change in s all over 2 all over cos s plus change in s. So now if you look at this now, the next step is to divide both sides by changing s. But I don't want to waste my time. This is what you do. You can bring out this. So change in y will be equals to minus 2 sine 2s plus change in s all over 2 all over cos s plus change in s multiplied by sine minus change in s all over 2. Now, so you notice that this minus will cancel out this minus. Minus times minus is plus, and change in y will be equals to 2 sine 2s plus change in s all over 2 all over cos s plus change in s multiplied by sine change in s all over 2. So now the reason why I did that is because I know that the limit as change sine s sorry, the limit as sine s approaching 0 of sine s all over s is nothing but 1. Now I'm having change in s all over 2 here, and the next step is to divide through by change in s. So I'll just say change in y over change in s is equals to 2 sine 2s plus change in s all over 2 all over cos s plus change in s multiplied by sine change in s all over 2 all over what? Change in s. Now, but if you look at it, I know that limit as let me say s approaching 0 of sine s over s is equals to what? 1. If you look at this, it is sine it is s that is here, it's also s that is here. So here we are having change in s all over 2. What is here is the same thing as this. It's the same thing as this. Sine change in s all over 2. You get that? So yeah, what can I do now for me to have change in all over change in s all over 2 here? What I'll just do is I'll multiply the numerator and denominator by half. So I'll just say multiply by half all over half. So you will see that these two will cancel. Any of these two you can cancel down on this. So then I'll be left with change in y all over change in s will be equals to sine 2s plus change in s all over 2 all over what? All over cos s plus change in s. Multiply by what? Multiply by sine change in s all over 2 all over what? Change in s all over 2. Yes. So I'll clean this part now. Yes, I know you might be wondering why I say change in s over 2. From here it is over 2. I'm just the one that made a mistake. So it's correct now. Okay, now so change in y all over change in s now will be equals to sine s plus change in s all over 2 all over cos s plus change in s multiplied by sine change in s all over 2 over change in s all over 2. So now the next thing is to take the limit. If I take the limit now, I'm going to have limit change in s approaching 0 of change in y by change in s, which is equal to the limit as change in s approaching 0 of sine s plus sorry, not s, 2s. From here it is 2s. 2s 2s plus change in s all over 2 all over cos s plus change in s multiplied by the limit as change in s approaching 0 of sine change in s all over 2 all over change in s all over 2. So I know that everything that is here is nothing but what? 1. So, and 1 multiplied by this will be left with this. Limit as change in approaching 0 of change in y over change in s is nothing but what? The y over the s. So now, the limit of this as it is approaching 0 is nothing but what? So let me write it back. Limit as change in s approaching 0 of sine into, now what is here I can split it as 2s over 2 plus change in s over 2 all over cos s into what? Into cos s plus change in s. So now these two will cancel out these two. Then I'm going to be left with limit as change in s approaching 0 of sine s plus change in s all over 2 all over cos s into cos s plus change in s. So now, anywhere I see change in s, I'm going to replace it with 0. So it means this one will be the y over the s will be equals to, if I put 0 here, I'm going to have sine s plus 0 over 2 all over cos s into cos s plus 0. So now which will be equals to 0 over 2 is still what? 0. And s plus 0 is still what? 0. So it will give me sine s all over s plus 0 is still s. I'm going to be left with what? Cos s cos s. So I'm going to have cos s multiplied by what? Cos s. So this I can split it. I can split this. So it's going to be, if I split it, I'm going to have the y all over the s to be equals to sine s all over what? Cos s multiplied by what? 1 all over cos s. So now the y all over the s will be equals to sine s over cos s is nothing but what? Tan s. So 1 over cos s is nothing but what? Sec s. So you can say hence the y over the s is equals to tan s sec s. Here hence the proof. Thank you very much.